Hey guys, come on in. Just, whatever you do, don't make direct skin contact with anything in this room. You will die instantly. I've been on a real science kick lately. And of course, nothing says science like creating things in a lab that will later have horrific repercussions on humanity. You see, I had an epiphany recently. I love my Hot Wheels collection, but let's be honest, like all species, some of them are just way superior to others. I want to find a way to control that. I wanted to find a way to engineer every car in my collection to be as genetically superior as possible. So I've taken up crossbreeding, and what's a better way to start than with two cars that are widely considered to be some of the greatest Hot Wheels cars of all time, even though I personally couldn't give less of a fuck about either of them. Nothing could possibly go wrong here. You know what they say. When you're so preoccupied with whether or not you could, you should never stop to think if you should. I really should have stopped to think if I should. The twin Dorado. Finally, the original Diora is almost worth a damn again. The twin Dorado was first released in 2025 and was designed by Fraser Campbell. And it brings a very interesting, if not a bit strange, concept to the table. It's a twin-mill Diora hybrid. That may seem like a very strange combination at first, but I think this thing actually pulls it off really well. This is honestly one of the best fantasy cars to come out of Hot Wheels in recent memory. I love the way this thing looks. The body is majority Diora, though a bit flatter and sleeker than the original. It's got all the hallmarks of the original Diora, but brings in a lot of the twin mill's best features that overall make this body look more interesting. The front end intertwines that pointed nose design the twin mill is famous for, with the Diora's short cab design. The headlights are sharper and have that twin mill style triangular look, but also have the Diora style of fitment. I also love the small detail of it having an off-center license plate here. There's a bit of wide body action going on here too, and I think it flows really nicely. And the rear looks just as good as the front, with some nice twin mill inspired taillights and a nice quadruple exhaust adorning the rear bumper. But of course, the biggest showcase of this combination comes with the huge twin motors mounted behind the cab. And while there aren't any actual surfboards on the back of it, you could steal a surfboard from another Diora and throw it on there in between the engines. But why would you do that? Getting rid of the flimsy-ass surfboards is the greatest improvement this thing makes. I also really love the detailing in the livery, where if you turn the car around, the livery almost matches the silhouette of the twin mill's body. Overall, this is such a fantastic design and makes use of this concept perfectly. The idea of combining two cars together to make another one, while not necessarily a new idea, is certainly an interesting one and is utilized really well here. But of course, we all know one of Mattel's company mottos: if an idea works once, milk it until the cow is shriveled up dead. The Mod Mill, a car with proportions I cannot even begin to comprehend. The Mod Mill was also first released in 2025 and was designed by Brian Zhao. This one takes the twin mill and combines it with the Mod Rod, which is somehow an even weirder combination than the twin mill and Diora are. This one, though I do still like it, does look a bit odd. The twin Dorado fits in remarkably well. Meanwhile, this thing looks way more abstract. It's hard to put my finger on it, but something seems a bit off. I will say, I think the front end is really great, the hood shape and style being much more reminiscent of the Twin Mill 3 than the original. And the way the splitter looks down here is really cool. However, then we make our way to the rear. It's the revenge of the Twin Mill 2, ladies and gentlemen, but this time they really outdid themselves. Because stunningly, the Mod Mill manages to not have an ass, while also having an ass at the same time. Look, I think the Mod Mill is good, but it's not without its flaws. For one, I'm not too fond of the mismatched engines. I think it would have looked a lot better with just the two Twin Mill style engines. This is like going to the barber and getting a crew cut on one side and cornrows on the other. I know they were trying to combine the Twin Mill engine design and the Mod Rod engine design, but I think it's executed horribly here. I'm also not totally in love with the way the roof looks. The windshield is just a bit too narrow. And by just a bit, I of course mean holy f***, we're gonna die. And I also just can't get used to the rear end's hunchback design. It just doesn't mesh well with the front end, and I kinda wish they had included more twin mill influence in how the rear was designed. The Mod Mill is good, but I wouldn't say it's as good as the twin Dorado. I just don't find it as universally appealing. I don't think the Mod Rod was the best choice of car to combine with a twin mill. They're just two styles that fit together very awkwardly. And hey, all credit to Brian Zhao, he did the best with what he had, and he managed to actually make some of it work. However, unfortunately, in other areas, it just doesn't fit in my opinion. So with all that said, the Twin Dorado gets a 9.5 out of 10, the Mod Mill gets a 7. Well, hey, that experiment actually worked out pretty good, all things considered. I wonder what cars I should crossbreed next. This can't possibly be a mistake.